Hello traders, this is McBillion. Today is January 18, 2016, and let's talk about the market. Let's start with the spider. The spider, as you can see here, is very close to major support Fibonacci 182. We bounced from that level back in October 2014. We bounced in August 2015, and we getting very close to that Fibonacci 182. Many people have asked me if we can go long in here. Well, the probability here is that if we go to this level, it's going to be high probability based on these bounces on 2014 and 2015 that many traders is going to see here is going to come in jumping here, making price bounce from here. Now, not every time when a price goes to a level that has offered support means that it's gonna bounce. And it might just stop there for a few days and continue down. Now, the thing is that we are in earnings report season, and many traders are gonna be looking at the earnings report. So far, there's a mixed reports. Last week we had a couple reports. We have Intel, we have a couple banks, not too much, but they were mixed. Some of them mixed revenue, but nothing really bad. But as you know, there's other things that are happening, like Walmart are closing many stores and they're gonna fire a lot of employees, and there are other things happening around the world that might affect the market. My take on the market is that we're gonna watch the 182 and we're gonna watch the 188, which is the Fibonacci resistance, but it's not a lot of resistance or support there, so it's not an important Fibonacci level. The real Fibonacci support is 182. Now let's talk about another one. Let's talk about Apple. Apple is getting close to earnings report and it's getting close to support 94. My take on Apple here is being so low from here, it means that it's gonna stop from here, and if their report is bad or is just flat, this thing is gonna break down further to $85. That's my take. And I think based on the tape and based on this chart is that something is happening in Apple is very weak and it might break down 85. So we trade with probabilities. We trade earnings on McBillion and we trade with probabilities. I'm not saying that it's 100% that Apple is gonna break down to 85. I say there is a high probability that it's gonna break down to 85, which is different. So it might bounce to 94 because it bounced back in August 24. It might bounce from here based on expectations for the report and go to 103 to wait for the report there, which it will be awesome to get short in there. So that's my take on Apple. Now let's talk about Amazon. Amazon also broken. What else? Everything is broken, so you're gonna see a lot of broken charts. Doesn't matter where you go. The only chart that looks beautiful and bullish is the VIX. Well, Amazon right here break down this major support, as you can see here, with a lot of volume. And the last 2 days has been a lot of volumes. The last Friday, he traded 7 million, almost $8 million. He tried to get up in 585, but he failed. So that's gonna be an important level to watch. 585, and they're coming for the earnings report season. Is gonna be in the 28. So it might go from based on the market. If the whole market bounce based on the S&P, it might bounce with the market and it tests 607 again. You know, every time we had a breakdown like that, usually market bounce and test the breakdown to finally go down further. My take is that this thing is gonna go to 528 or the 500 level. So let's see what happens to Amazon. So just as you know, we're trading earnings report in McBillion. So the first one we trade was Intel last week, and it went well. So we start with the right foot. If you want to join McBillion and trade with us with the earnings, It's a lot of fun, and last time we made almost 600 profits. Baba, as you can see here, also failed at 85. Break down the 69 Fibonacci support. I think this thing doesn't look good, and I think it's gonna retest the $58, which is the major support. So it doesn't look good. This chart is all over the place right now, and nothing looks good, to tell you the truth. Facebook, a very strong stock, but also down. 92 is support. Is It looks horrible bearish. If you can see the chart right here, it looks horrible bearish. But I like Facebook loan, and I think the report is gonna be good. So this is one of the ones that I have on my loan for earnings report. So keep an eye on Facebook, but the chart right now doesn't look good. But when you trade earnings reports, the charts doesn't matter. What it matters is the earnings report, the revenue, if they beat expectations, um, everything that matters, the forecast, that's what it matters. Goldman Sachs also looks bearish. I think the Fibonacci 152 is a lot of support there. You can see this support right here. There's a huge support right there. So it might bounce from here and go up to test this level again, this resistance. But at this level, based on DMI, is very oversold, and we might get a pause right here to go further down, or we might get a bounce. So that's the two possibilities. So it will all will be based on the reports. If the report is good, it's gonna bounce. But if the report is flat or just very weak, it's gonna go down to 152, or it's gonna go to the next Fibonacci 137. IBM is going to report this week also. Look at this. It's at the bottom. It's right at the bottom of this chart. This support. So there's a lot of support right here. So there's high probability that it's going to bounce from here. So if the report comes out good, it might bounce and we might test 132 or 140. Another one. Let's talk about Intel. Intel, we trade this one in the earnings report. It break down, as you can see here almost 10%. I think the real support is at 27, but we closed the position and we took profits. So this was the one that we trade last week for the earnings report. I can show you right here all the ones that I have for the whole season. I have Intel, we got 63. This week we have Netflix, IBM, we have Starbucks, Apple, eBay, Facebook. You can see all of them. So last time this is last time season, we made 579 profits. And as you can see here, we have losers and winners. But the winners, the gains were higher. Even though it was not a good season because we don't have huge breakdowns or breakouts. So I'm expecting this season to be awesome. So you better jump in McBillion and trade with me these earnings because I think it's gonna be awesome. Now let's talk about another one. Let's talk about the iShares Russell. It's also a support. This trend line support. Fibonacci 9450 is they also support right there. I don't know what to think about here. I think it's gonna bounce from here, a little relief rally probably to 106 to test this breakdown Fibonacci. That's the resistance 106. If it goes to 106, I'm gonna go short on this one. I'm sure many people, big traders, I'm looking for a bounce, not to go long in the bounce, to go short. So that's the mentality you have to have. Don't be biased to think that this thing is gonna go up in here and then it's gonna go to do to go to to go to 126 or 130 to make new highs. I think there's a lot of problems and you have to be careful and you have to short the rallies. That's the game right now. Short the rallies because the charts are broken. And that's the thing. You have to look for resistance and short right at resistance. That's the game right now if you are a swing trader. Now let's talk about Microsoft. Microsoft break down the top of this gap. I think it's gonna close the gap right at 48. So that's the number to watch, 48. Now let's talk about another one. Netflix is also reporting this coming week, so I'm gonna go long in this one. As you can see here, it's very close to major support 98. I like Netflix. I think it's gonna go up and test this breakdown. You know, I think it's gonna go to right and test this breakdown around 113, 115, which it will be a 7 or 10% up after earnings. And now let's talk about the last one, Tesla. Let me call your attention in Tesla. Major support is 190. Decade number, Fibonacci 190. If you break down 190, I don't see any support, and this thing can go to 160 in a blink. So be careful if you loan in Tesla and own shares, because I can see that it can break down very easily and it doesn't look good. So join McBillion, join the McBillion earnings report, because it's a lot of fun and we're gonna make a lot of profits. If you wanna follow me and see how I do this, it's based on DMI, it's based on price, it's based also on news, and it's a lot of fun and we always make profits. So this is everything for today. Trade on.